2 groups down and 2 to go. We delve into Group C now here for ESL One Cologne Day 1. Things get a little murkier from here, less easy to predict. So far, no surprises. However, as we do venture into Group C, it does seem like that both the desk and the community is rather split. This is an interesting group that features a North American team we can't quite understand, a European team that seems to be Mr. Inconsistent, and a whole lot more. So let's have a quick look, a little preview of what Group C has to offer.
With the longest standing roster of any pro team, Virtus Pro are ready to shun anyone questioning the team's recent fragging power. The Polish powerhouse have one of the longest standing core lineups in the scene and are known to bring high-level competitive play right when it counts. After a long slump, Team EnVyUs have made changes to their roster, adding the new in-game leader Devil to the team. All eyes are on the new leader as Devil will try to focus the Frenchman to regain the synergy they once had, winning them first place at the DreamHack Open Cluj-Napoca Major last year. mousesports is made up of a core of German players who possess an immense amount of talent within the team. The team with a lot of skill will be challenging their new Serbian coach Kasad to focus his firepower and lead the team to victory. After a surprising run at MLG Columbus, Team Liquid have been turning heads, but still struggle to close out key games. The North American team have brought Simple back as a stand-in and added in one of North America's best AWP players, JDM, to help fight for that elusive last round.
It's going to be a good group, there's no doubt about it. I mean, there's so many questions and storylines coming into this one. I don't know quite where to start. Fortunately, I do have Thorin, Janko, and Blue to kind of understand this one. Blue, I'll actually start with you. Can you kind of understand who the favorites are coming into this one? Because I don't think it's necessarily clear who the favorites are.
No, there's a lot of potential for upset when we look at it overall there, just because some of these teams have been in fairly weak form as of shape. Virtus Pro, of course, fairly inconsistent usually, but it's hit a pretty low degree recently with them dropping out of the ESL Pro League and getting relegated down from there. Then EnVyUs as well, and even Team Liquid to a certain degree. And then you have mousesports added in there too, which is always a big question as far as how strong all 5 of the individuals combined are going to come to show up to an event. It really could be an open bag as far as who ends up moving out from this group. I
mean, my question then following on from that one is Liquid. They got to the semi-final, nearly, one round away from the grand final.
Yep.
Was it a fluke, gents, or does Cologne pose another opportunity for them to do so, or is that not easy to answer?
I think it was a fluke in as much as it was a one-off run. No one could have predicted. It was probably better than they expected. I mean, they really were close to the final, and it couldn't be replicated. So I think you've probably met all the criteria for a fluke there. With that said, for me, it was just the best-case scenario. Now, interestingly enough, again, you can't predict it's going to happen. That's the problem I have here, unless you just think that you just have some sense for it. But in a weird way, this lineup's better than that lineup, actually, because now they swapped out Adren and brought in JDM to do that other AWPing role. So I actually think on paper, they have the potential certainly to do something like that again. It's just that, again, so little time actually on the server with this 5-man lineup. It's really hard to know what to expect from them or even what they expect from themselves.
Yeah, but couldn't you apply the same kind of, basically that whole paragraph, copy and paste, apply it to VP and Envy? Like we don't know what, I mean, maybe not the roster swaps, but in terms of not knowing what to expect, would you not say there's a lot of question marks surrounding them as well?
No,
Janko?
because here's the thing, I mean, go ahead.
I feel that this is definitely the group with the biggest question mark in sense that we don't know what to expect. Like Group D obviously is going to be extremely close, but there we know, how teams like to play, we know about their form. VP, from what I saw at T-League, it seemed to me like they were hiding some stuff, that they weren't willing to give away everything they have in store for the major, pretty much, after they secured the second place as well. So with EnVyUs, yes, they did beat VP in that final, but again, it was Kenny S who had an amazing performance. Whenever Kenny S and Apex play well, they are able to beat anyone. So whether they will be able to replicate that now, that's going to be the question.
And we'll be talking more about that Devil's leadership as well as JDM's addition to the team in just a moment when we do move into that game. But just closing out, you can see how this group does look in the bracket. It will be VP versus Mouse following this best of 1. We get to see exactly whether VP had things up their sleeve, or mousesports have found, like you said in the video as well, they have got that raw talent, and is just looking forward to seeing if they can implement that here in Cologne for the major. An opportunity, let's not forget that they missed out on last time. They couldn't get to the LANXESS, they couldn't get to the German, well, the home crowd for 3 of them last time, and this is their opportunity to do it again. So there's going to be a lot of hunger on, of course, everyone's side, but Mouse a little bit in particular. Now, though, we can move into our first game, our first best of 1. We're going to be moving then to talk a little bit about Envy and Liquid. And actually, before we do start dissecting this, gents, we're actually going to meet one of the teams. It is the French team that has put Devil behind the reins. And now we get to take a quick look at French side EnVyUs.
We managed to qualify, so overall it's been pretty good. Except that we lost against Gambit, but we managed to win the last one, which is the most important. We are pretty confident lately, individually, I would say. We are doing pretty good in practice. We will be even happier if we manage to play again in that stadium, because it was so huge and we had goosebumps, like it was impressive. I think it's kind of like it for most of players. ESL Cologne has been my favorite tournament so far, and it was so impressive to be in the LANXESS arena. By myself, I'm feeling way more confident playing with more adrenaline and stuff. We all love that condition, like playing in front of a huge crowd. It's something we always wanted. So it's really important for us to make something there.
Kenny S saying he's got the confidence. We know how far that does get you. We'll be talking about that. But first things first, Janko Paunovic, you rolled, is that good? Bad?
Okay.
It's okay. You rolled your eyes when he said we've been doing well in scrims. Let's talk about that. Why exactly were you suggesting that wasn't a good barometer?
I mean, players always like to emphasize scrims, but you know, you need to take into account how different teams play. Some teams play scrims just to practice new stuff. They will try to run the same strat multiple times. They will only try to go for a sole CT setup to see how it works, to see what they can expect. I don't take much from results in practice. I think it's important though in a sense of confidence, right? If you're beating some of the teams that are maybe stronger than you, that have been beating you in tournaments, if you're beating them in practice, then that gives you confidence. And for a team like EnVyUs, that's super important, especially for a player like Kenny S, because their style relies on them playing really well individually, going for those trade kills, and if they're not confident, we saw what can happen to them in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, they have high highs and low lows. Duncan, the map pool between these two teams, is this one of the harder or the easier games to predict?
It's harder on the side of Team Liquid because, I mean, we've only seen them play, I think, something like 4 maps on LAN with this lineup.
Fair.
And the only map they won on was Cobblestone. Now, interestingly enough, Cobblestone is the best map, actually, of the guys from EnVyUs. The two that they're really good on right now is Cobblestone and Cash, which actually is classic maps for the Apex Kenny era of the team. And then, interestingly enough, they've also brought into the mix Dust 2. That's really gotten better and better, even though, interestingly, that used to be the signature of the old lineup, the Shocks one, not the Kenny S and Apex one. So they're kind of the 3 maps they're wanting. Well, interestingly enough, like I said, Liquid has played Cobble, looked like they liked it. In terms of Cash, I'm not so sure whether they're going to want that. They've banned that quite a lot, actually, so far. And then in terms of Dust 2, obviously the old Team Liquid, that's actually what got them to the playoffs when they beat Fnatic on it, MLG Columbus. But actually, they've been telling me they don't particularly like the Dust 2. So you see Dust 2 ban initially. EnVyUs banning Cobblestone. Here's the thing. It is a fantastic EnVyUs map, but they know it's the only map Team Liquid's actually gotten wins on LAN. So just take it out yourself. You've probably got a deeper map than them, you figure. The Cash ban, like I said, they don't really want to play. It's a very strong map for the guys from EnVyUs. EnVyUs banning Overpass is just like a default there. There's been one they've done for a long time. In terms of Team Liquid being the last to ban here, I'm wondering what they do here. Maybe ban out, like, would they ban Train here?
I'm just saying, Nuke's still there.
Nuke, yeah. And maybe they've been practicing Nuke?
Yeah, for me, this is maybe a small game of chicken because both teams don't play Overpass.
Okay.
So EnVyUs, with their last ban, didn't go for the gamble and they actually had to ban it, which gave another ban for Liquid.
The best map, obviously, out of the ones left is if it comes Train. We don't particularly want Nuke because, okay, sure, maybe people have secret things up their sleeve, but at least we know they can both play Train. And interestingly, it's come Train. EnVyUs gets to start, probably CT. This was the map where Kenny S went nuts against Virtus Pro, who are one of the best Train teams in the world. So this is a map they've improved a lot, and they actually told me that what they did is on this particular map, they put Kenny S in all his spots that he wants, and they just support him. So he's obviously the guy we're going to be looking at on this map to go crazy.
An old school EnVyUs strategy playing around Kenny S.
But interestingly enough, Train is a map where you need to play more as a team than there's room for individual playstyles, especially on the T side. And what I expected from Liquid, that ECS to go for a more puggy playstyle, not to have too many set strats because they didn't have a lot of time to practice. They had to cover a lot of maps. But actually, they had a couple of set strats, some good fakes as well. I guess that's mostly Peacemaker doing the work. So I would expect them to actually be pretty well prepared on Train here.
I believe this was the map, right, where they lost to NiP, but I think it was like they got double-digit rounds.
LG 16-12.
Oh, LG, okay.
I think Peacemaker is going to add a lot to the Team Liquid roster simply because we've already seen the impact that just in general what the Brazilian leaders bring to those teams and how well they can correlate it together on both now SK and the Immortals guys, and seeing that adapted to a North American team is going to be very interesting. Granted, we haven't seen the long-term effects of that as of yet, but I feel feel like here it's going to be really good. Big question for me, though, is what kind of performance do we see from both JDM along with Kenny on the other side? Since Kenny has that one good game, but he was also struggling quite a bit last week at E-League, and for JDM too, still adapting to a new environment on this team, that could add some stress to him a little bit, which could make it perform somewhat poorly.
Thanks very much. Guys, I do just need a very quick prediction. Blue, just round it out. Give me a team name. No justification, I'm afraid. We haven't got time.
I'm going to go with Liquid on this one.
Okay, Yanko.
Liquid as well.
And finally.
EnVyUs all the way.
Wow, so 2 for Liquid. Now, that is interesting, judging by what we discussed already. It didn't sound like we were leaning towards the North Americans, but the game is ready. We'll be talking about it so much more in the post-match, but so will your casters. 2 very handsome men that like to talk about cheese, burgers, and everything in between. A little bit of Counter-Strike as well. It's none other than James Bardolph and DDK.
Thank you very much. Yeah, back again at a major. This is a very exciting match for us to kick off with. I feel quite privileged. Both of these teams, it's very unknown what they're going to bring to the table, but of course Liquid, they've come off a 2-week boot camp. ECS, I think, well, everyone was getting run over by G2, so I really don't know how to place Liquid. And EnVyUs as well. We saw them in E-League. They're looking pretty hot as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here for both teams to take the game. Personally, I would have to favor EnVy being an actual full team as opposed to Simple being a stand-in. You know, he was a loose cannon. I don't think you can put too much into Liquid's placing in the previous major for the long term, obviously, and perhaps for this one as well. Who knows? Again, they've got JDM now. This is the key man. They've got the big Captain Cadillac player.
The thing is with JDM too is that he delivers in big games. With all the pressures on, he really delivers. And one thing that was crazy is that obviously at the last major they had Kusta instead, and Kusta was supposed to be the main AWP, but that's what he does. And JDM obviously he's got a lot more experience. Kusta's still a very young player, and so JDM in theory, you know, that the firepower on this team is quite incredible. And again, they did get run over by G2, but I think G2 were just unstoppable at ECS recently. So I don't think we should read too heavily into that single tournament result for them.
Actually, I think I'm going to take back what I said there about favouring EnVy, because obviously this is a map where 2 AWPs are very viable, right? And obviously JDM's AWPing all day. But if Liquid have the money and Simple can pick one up again, then that's going to be a nasty pair of AWPs. Obviously, Happy and Kenny S can go at it as well, but I think JDM and Simple might be a tad more dangerous. Well, again, best one, anything can happen, and soon will, as we're about to get into the pistol. EnVy starting on the CT side. Going to see what these players are buying up. Devil's yet to purchase, but rest of his team's going straight for Kevlar here. Maybe not expecting a bomb to go down.
Yeah, just want to go for the fights, which is always fun to see. And it does especially work quite well on this map, because you don't usually... I mean, a smoke grenade is not going to cause too much of an issue. As CT side, it's very easy to find new avenues and long ranges, which is really favorable for the USPs, of course. But here it is. We have the pistol round now in play. And looks like we're going to get potentially some aggression coming in from Liquid towards Ali. However, they're just showing their presence there. And that is quite a common way to open up a pistol round, is to go Ali. So giving a bit of paranoia towards the side of EnVyUs, but now it's Nitro with the first frag. And there's so much time that Liquid can kind of sit on this frag advantage at the moment to see if there is a reaction from EnVyUs, but they are just holding it down for now.
Yeah, Apex and Happy were moving quite a lot, actually. They both went towards the B side, but Apex has quickly gone back to A, and Happy's about to find some information. That's a good start here for him. Eligi's going to go down, but he's got many players to battle against. Doesn't really have the range superiority at the moment, so he'll back off and try to play with his teammates. Liquid not committing just yet. Gonna drop a smoke into the site. So if they can cross that channel, then maybe they can get the bomb down. That's gonna have EnVy out of position now. NBK is still moving in towards A, and JDM's on the flank as well, so that might be a problem for them. Simple's picked up a P2000, so he'll have good range as well. Bomb goes down now, 4 versus 4 retake here. He's got a Molotov as well, which might come into play a bit later on. Nitro trying to avoid, but he's gonna get taken down. Trey's coming in for both teams, man advantage for the CTs.
So now Liquid have to start pressuring back onto the bomb site as the bomb can be defused. There's no kit though, so Apex really needs to win this fight. A reload for both Hiko and Apex. Very awkward indeed, but it's going to be EnVyUs taking the pistol round here if the defuse comes in time, which it should be. And that 3-player difference there, instead of being 2 players, was very important because they had no kit. So that was actually a lot closer, I think, than it may have actually looked. Either way, though, the end result's going to be EnVyUs with the first round in advantage against Liquid. And Liquid getting the bomb down, they're likely going to just take it easy in this one and say, all right, we're just going to run at you, die, and then play out the AKs in the following round. And so EnVyUs, I mean, they're going to get the pressure back on them straight away, which is very important for Liquid.
One thing I wonder about this kind of Liquid setup where, again, they don't have really a full team at the moment, Simple being a temporary stand-in for the time being. You have to wonder if they have the time even to have strategies for rounds like this where, well, let's see what happens in this one. Loads of trades coming in now, 3 versus 3. Some guns, can they be picked up? Is there anything to pick up? Still 3 plays of pistols here. Bomb gets taken down, so that might be the rest of the round done. Apex coming in with the headshots there. But again, on a round like this, do Liquid have any strategies to try and get a second bomb plant other than going for just a full body 5-man rush?
I was just like, they'll throw the smoke down and then run in. But the weird thing there is EnVyUs, they decided to go close range for the push, and of course, you know, you don't always know how that's going to work out. Obviously, if Liquid aren't rushing B, then they're probably fine, but they were rushing B, and then EnVyUs are playing close range against pistols, and they lost 2 guns, and now they're in a situation where they're immediately against rifles. Now, is that a risk you should take if you know you're against Glocks? That is the question. Either way, Liquid now, they have a good selection of grenades to play this round out with the AKs, so that they have a lot of space to work with.
So Envy going for a bit of a standard setup, forward towards A initially, and they'll quickly rotate one back towards B. It's a good start there. EnVyUs taking down JDM on an AK. He will be patiently waiting for a sniper of his own. Now we have Simple and Hiko looking over towards the IB position. EnVyUs is looking to harass more Liquid players. That might slow things down, but a great read by EnVyUs straight away. He's got a bit of a gap in that smoke, so Liquid would be good for them not to put themselves in the crosshairs of EnVyUs, and indeed they are starting to move away. So minute 10 on the clock here, and it seems that Liquid might be attempting a bit of an A split.
Yeah, just I mean, it's hard to take risks at this point. Now they've already lost a man. You know, Kenny is lurking around, could be anywhere, could very easily reposition. So I like that they're going for the safe sort of thing. Let's just throw in the grenades because they don't have too many. Let's get it in when it counts into that A yard. And they can always try to go for a bit of a fake as well. We'll have to see how it plays out now as Kenny is going to try to get in front of the smokes. And this is a beautiful position now. If they try to go out of the pop dog, they're going to meet Kenny. And there he is with the first frag on a leash. And another one. Looking pretty easy for Kenny, but finally the trade comes in. And maybe if Nitro can get another quick kill here, Hope could be alive, but that's just not happening. Nitro, the longer this takes to get that first frag, the harder it's going to be. And 2 exposed, the bomb in a terrible position. That will be the round for EnVyUs. And to see EnVyUs connecting as he's doing right at the start of this game is very encouraging for the French side.
Yeah, Envy off to a good start, in very high spirits yesterday, horsing around in the hotel. So all in a good mood, it seems. EnVyUs still hitting his shots, just delivering for his team as he did recently in E-League as well, carrying that through. And you could argue that Envy are coming into train hot based on their performance against Virtus Pro only last week. So again, you have Liquid going down to the eco now. Hiko with the 1 flashbang, rest of the team with varying pistols. So they might be trying to just rush out. And it seems, again, this is a situation where it looks like they just want to get a bomb plant in, worst case scenario, and then go from there. Envy playing the ranges, Kenny shutting people down, Apex as well. So that's the bomb in no man's land, nobody close to connect it. Hiko's made his way into the site, but there's maybe not much we can really expect him to do here. Again, just can't close the distance in time. A clean round from Envy.
Yeah, and it's such a good foundation if you have EnVyUs able to just make everybody else's life a little bit easier and make sure that the defense is always going to be stable. And we actually saw, you know, at E-League as well against Virtus Pro in that best of 3 that, you know, Devil was also able to deliver. And it seems like it was quite some time that he wasn't able to quite, you know, find his feet, his place within the lineup. But EnVyUs, they've been putting a lot of hard work in. It's starting to show, although we are just a mere 4 rounds in. We'll have to see if Liquid can get something going, because now JDM's picked up the AWP, and that's going to be a big focal point. Will they decide to try to use him to pick? Or, well, we got a fast round, it looks like.
Yeah, so we've got nades being thrown in. Nitro and Simple going to be looking for these entry packs, charging towards the site here. Nitro headed towards EnVyUs and Simple around the bomb train. Spots Apex, just about takes him down. Going to be scared of the nades now. He might have to reposition. Nitro going to smoke off some of the choke points here and get taken down by NBK in the meantime. There's a flank potential from Happy and Devil charging through the smoke. So this Liquid push might not be so successful. They don't have the bomb down just yet. Elite running around, Simple, those cutting the numbers down. Only 2 left here for the CTs, and they're Happy with that flank. It's going to stop the bomb from going down, and it's going to be a solid clear up. You can hear the roar from the Envy side. Very nicely done.
Yeah, beautiful 3K, and that is the problem that, you know, an EnVyUs lineup can really pose to any team. Any one of these players, should be able to do stuff like that. And that can be pretty intimidating. And Happy's lurking around there doing what he does best. I mean, there were so many iconic plays back when EnVyUs were a really, really top team, top 3 team last year in 2015, where Happy was always making these crazy smoke plays, and so it's cool to see him do that off of a smoke just there as well. And Liquid, now with the Tech 9s, Deagle, PT50, and a few, well, 5 smoke grenades in fact. They'll be trying to, as you said previously, just get a bomb down and get a couple kills as a bonus, hopefully. Let's see if they can make it happen. They'll take the path through alley after throwing a lot of nades into the yard here, so a bit of an interesting approach.
Indeed. This alley funnel will be interesting. NBK's going to get dinked and finished off straight away there. That's a very good start here for the T's. And it looks like they might be rotating towards the B bomb site, or maybe there's some indecision, kind of slowing down towards the A site now. Elise takes on Apex as well. Kenny on the high ground. How much can he do, though? Lots of angles to hunt while he scopes in. Can't see Hiko. Can't take anybody down. This could be a round here for Liquid.
It's looking very good indeed. It's just Devil left against 3 now as he starts to make his way up, but it's going to be a tough one. He does have a kit, so there is time, but he can't pass the first test, which is Hiko. And that is the first round on the board for Liquid, really making that play work. And it was really cool, actually, because they invested in the 5 smokes. They didn't just go for the straight-up yard push immediately, as you would expect from Popdog and from Team Main. They used the smokes to actually deposition the defense initially, and with a bit of a delay push through alley, with that fast first frag, the fact that EnVyUs were so out of position was a really big deal and key in Liquid's ability to win that round. So EnVyUs, they can still mount a buy, but it's not perfect.
Yeah, the money is going to be tight for both teams, where Hiko and Simple are sitting on quite a lot for the time being. So again, this is one of the crucial rounds of this game. JDM coming in for some raw peaks towards the Popdog position. Ooh, he's going to find NPK as well. That is a great start there. A very cheeky frag. That's going to put Envy on the back foot. Devil and Happy over towards the B bomb site. Very out of position as far as defending A goes. Hiko smoked off towards Ivy at the moment. Simple just creeping around main in case there's any aggressive response. Speaking of which, you see Apex now going into Popdog.
Yeah, taking a little bit of a risk, and it's hard to do that on trainers, the CT side, but sometimes certain situations will call for it, and let's see how committed or how far Apex is willing to go. Very likely he won't go up that ladder, but will he be a nasty surprise for Simple? Apex just trying to get information as well. Perhaps he can hear something, give a sound cue or something for his teammates to respond with. But there's 2 players on the side. The focal point for the defense here for EnVyUs. As Happy holds it down, 2 players out of the picture straight away. Apex goes for the flank. Liquid were waiting for it. And now they're going to rotate back towards A through Popdog. EnVyUs know what's going on, but can they beat them to the punch? Kenny S is in position, but JDM will win the crucial 1v1.
Envy kind of stuck behind the choke points now, but Happy is trying to get as far over towards Ivy as he can to avoid said choke points. Going to be forced back, however, and maybe he and Devil will have to go for the save in this situation. Again, their money is very ropey indeed now on the CT side, so this is going to put them in a difficult spot, but it might be even worse should they try to take back this round. So Liquid on the comeback trail now. How far can they go? Happy up there with 9 frags, so he's definitely on the front lines as opposed to the rear ones, where we're used to seeing him at the moment. For those of you on GoTV as well, when the CTs have good money, just keep an eye on Devil over towards the B bomb site when executes come in towards A and see how his team take decisions. Again, we saw a very fast flank coming in from him in the previous round. Happy just about holding on to his rifle here. There's not much else his team can do around it, I think. So we may not see a buy coming in. We'll see what Envy choose to do. But again, when they have money and they're reacting to things on the A side, just keep an eye on what the B player is doing. Although that may not happen for a while. Double Lorps now coming out for Liquid. And this is interesting because if Envy can delay getting taken down here, it might get a bit difficult for Liquid if they move into a site and there are loads of CTs there. Moving around quickly with these pistols versus 2 AWPs. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, but we have a quick push from EnVyUs, and it will be met by Elise. She's guarding the stairs and doing so quite well as he'll dispatch Devil and send the rest of the aggressors back into the B-bomb site. So EnVyUs trying to get something done early on, didn't quite pan out, but there will be more opportunities potentially. But as you said, with 2 AWPs, it can be quite difficult to be fast and dynamic, although those 2 AWPs are on the likes of Simple and JDM, and Simple perhaps at points the best player in the world in those situations where his back is against the wall because his raw talent is just off the charts. Now, Can see that Hiko's looking for a way in there, making sure there's no close players. That's essentially what Liquid are working out at the moment. You know, where are these pistoling players? We know they can be in all these close positions around these trains where their pistols are very effective, maybe in the one bullet kill range with those headshots from those P250s. That's very important to watch out for that. Most teams will use Molotovs to try to deny those positions.
And that's one thing where a lack of a full team for Liquid might be a problem, where they can't practice that kind of thing. Is that going to cause them problems here? We'll have to find out.
Yeah, they are deciding to make the move now. 30 seconds left. EnVyUs will find the first man. MBK will fall by quad. Oh, there you go. KennyS able to get some damage back on to the Liquid side. And that would be really nice if EnVyUs can keep pressuring their economy with frags. Apex finds his way over, though, with the 5-7. There's the frag combining with Happy, although Happy can't get the extra one. Still, though, 2 frags, not too shabby. But it is still another round for Liquid.
Yeah, it got a bit scary towards the end there with that 5-7 flying onto the bomb train. But they passed their test. Now we're going to have 4 AWPs on the server. KennyS, Happy, JDM, and Simple. Now this is where things get really interesting. There are some advantages to Envy in that they'll get to a reasonable amount of lines of sight faster than the Ts, namely connector to T main, Ivy obviously. Not necessarily upper B if they choose to go there, but again, they're going to start with 4 over towards the A side. So there's no real counterplay by Liquid here. You can't go fast B with 2 AWPs, for example. So we shall see how this round plays out. Again, Devil alone over towards the B bomb site for the time being. With Happy rotating around the connector area, he can provide high support for Devil if he can from the connector position, which means he doesn't necessarily have to play so deep into the B bomb site. So there's a dynamic factor in the Envy side there. You can see Liquid taking this one quite slow.
Yeah, and this could work out quite well for EnVyUs if they're able to get into good positions, but that's always going to be the question as a CT side. And Devil, obviously, he's not got any close support, but Happy, the Kevlarless AWPing Happy, is quite far back on the B-bomb side, so EnVyUs look fairly good on both sides here. It's Liquid looking for that slow approach as well with the AWPs that they have. It's quite fun to see both Simple and JDM AWPing. That's really nice.
Worth noting, KennyS has had to take a more passive position because he doesn't have armor either, so he can't risk getting taken down by grenades and such. So you can see he's in a bit of a rear corner there. But Liquid now can't really capitalize on this. They've waited very long. They've waited for Envy to try and peek, and it hasn't worked out. So now they're against the clock here. 30 seconds left. Not really committed to a site just yet. You can see the bomb is around the pop dog. Could go either way. Hiko's getting almost taken down, trying to throw a grenade out here. 25 seconds. They're not even on the site yet at all. 2 frags, 3 frags for the CTs now. 4. This is a disaster for Liquid. The knife coming out, but that's going to be... They're not going to care about that. 4 versus 1, and you're going to lose by timeout. You can have your knife, but there's no meat to cut with it.
Yeah, EnVyUs have actually picked up an extra AWP as well, so they got 3 in their hands at the moment. Surely they're not going to carry on 3. Yeah, they're going to pick up an AK there instead. 3 AWPs is a little bit of overkill. You're very vulnerable against those fast set pieces onto the bomb sites with all the smokes. And 6-3 will be the score now as EnVyUs finally win one back. But Liquid, they managed to accrue some money, so they're going to be okay to buy here. And obviously JDM has his full stock that he saved from that previous round right at the end, but he won't get any round loss bonus because he did survive past time as a terrorist player. So what will the approach look like now here? Because Liquid just have 1 AWP on JDM. They played those previous rounds pretty slowly. Didn't really work out for them. And you have to credit EnVyUs not peeking. And, well, we do appear to have a very quick approach. Is Happy with the first defensive kill. And can Liquid, with this forward position, get anything else done here?
Indeed, they are not really close to the site at the moment. On the wrong side of the wall of smokes that they've created. They need to get that bomb down and then get away. They're at a man disadvantage already. Simple on the high ground here, but there's not much he can do. There's nobody for him to shoot. The numbers of his team are running down, almost dying from the jump there. At least putting in work though, 3 versus 3 now, and that bomb might just go down. But how many players will they have left once it does? Hiko doing his best to cover his teammate. KennyS comes out. KennyS can't be stopped for the moment. Elish alone now versus 3. You know he's got high sense. That's a nice 2-man spray down. Where's the last man? Doesn't know. He has enough bullets. That is an unbelievable clutch there for Elish. 3 nice 1v1s. Very solid and desperate victory there for Liquid.
Yeah, going to lift his team with that ace. That's beautiful. And that is crippling for EnVyUs. They only just start to get things going again, only to be crushed by the ex-StarCraft 2 player, Elish. Obviously, he wasn't pro level, but that's where he came from. And, well, Elish is, as you say, you know, one of the cool things about him is he does have that really fast sense. Quite a fun player to watch. And Elige and Nitro, they've actually been, they haven't had the best year so far. This would be a great event for them to start stepping up individually. Now, back to the save again for EnVyUs. They do have some pistols, and they are a very dangerous team with those pistols indeed. But only one CZ in the hands of Happy. And only one Kevlar on Apex. So the expectation's not high. It just comes down to what you were talking about and the preparation that Liquid have on a map like this for their anti-eco plays, because that's what you need to see get executed well. This is a round where potentially you could build a lot of money from it if you've got some drills to play it efficiently.
They're so fortunate that Elige just beasted all of them. Envy had a really nice setup for the play Liquid went for. Again, that connected position being much faster than the main position. So running out there with Molotov, you're going to get wrecked almost, well, you should get wrecked almost every time there. So quite risky play from Liquid that paid off because of an individual play by Elige. That's put him in a great spot now to rack up some rounds here. We see Envy not getting much done on this eco so far. Those smokes, though, may cause problems for them. Eco knows his angles, however, and now Devil's last man standing. So no one down for Liquid just yet. You can see Devil very out of position. So they're going to make some money here in this round.
Yeah, and just with the PT-50, might as well just go for it. See if you can get a fast headshot. He knows players are nearby as well, and he will get shut down as well. So 3 quick kills there for Hiko, and the round is done. 6-5. It's a nice comeback here coming from Liquid's perspective, because with the start that we had for EnVyUs, where KennyS got the AWP really fast, he was hitting everything. That was a really scary prospect for Liquid to deal with. And also, Liquid has some trouble making it work with their double AWP pick style on the T side. Oftentimes, EnVyUs were not giving them many opportunities to actually get an early round advantage, which is the entire point of that strategy. So, well, we're back to a 6-5 now in favor of the French side, and we might have a lot of players moving into this AER, but when? We've got those smokes in, and the main push will be coming from Ali.
So we've got Apex playing close to... Oh, no, he's dead. Never mind. Only pistols again here for Envy. Going to have to eco once again. And they've tried to close the distance as much as possible, but again, it still hasn't paid off here. And often, things can turn around very quickly when you have these strong pistols, these Deagles, these 5.7s out on the map. There's a nice shot for Kenny, but he can't get close enough to the AWP. Simple taking him down from the back, 4 versus 2. This should be another standard round here for Liquid. I don't think they're going to be too concerned. That bomb does need to go down, though, and there it does. So that's going to put the onus on these final 2 players, who may set up to try and steal away a gun upon the exit of the map. You can see they've got 2/5 of them covered.
The cool thing as well is that this was actually a variation of one of Liquid's strategies that they already showed on the T side, which was previously they used it when I believe when they won their first round actually, and it was with the Tech 9 buy and 5 smoke grenades, and they threw all the smokes, made it look like it was going to be a really fast A-yard play out of Pop Dog and T-Main, but in reality, the way the timing works is they push with the bulk of players. Previously it was 4, but this time it was 3 through Ali very quickly, and that kind of depositions the defense a little bit. And so it seems like they have some variations of that kind of an idea of how how they want to take a yard. So it's interesting to see how that plays out, how that evolves in their T side. And now they've brought themselves to 6-6, so they're doing a lot of things well at the moment. What are EnVyUs going to be able to do to stop them? They have the AWP back onto KennyS, and he's going to have to start hitting some shots now, because Liquid is starting to get that confidence.
Yeah, back on the big guns are the French side. So let's see what kind of setup they're going to have over here. They can try and choke off the main area. There's a lot they can do. Nice early flash to stop any early advance into the site. We see that from Luminosity. They've got some nice running executes towards A, bouncing smokes off to obscure vision from Connector, which is something that a team like Liquid should be picking up if they want to make fast plays into main. Again, you saw their play got picked off for free when the AWP was out, so definitely an easy thing to pick up, and that's going to make life much easier. But they're going to creep in raw to the B bomb site here. Nitro's going to get the opening frag once again. They've picked up on this on a previous round. That is a money nade going straight towards Connector, but JDM will steal the frag, and Envy are in a lot of trouble here as we get into the final round of the first half. Yeah,
the contact play, they brought it out at a very nice point, and EnVyUs just did not have the preparation to deal with that. And that sometimes can just be like in StarCraft, you could have, they would call it like a build order win if let's say your CT setup is just not going to be in a good place at all to deal with that particular strategy that's picked by the other side. Both blind decisions, and it just works out a little bit worse for you on the gamble. So again, well executed, confidently executed by Liquid.
We saw it earlier as well. Nitro walked, normally where you throw that smoke towards connector, he walked down there, saw players on the bomb train. I'm not sure if he won the frag, but it was the same idea basically that came out from Liquid. And it has paid off on this occasion. EnVyUs' buy has been broken. There are 2 rounds left now in this half, and they have around $3,000, which is going to put them in a bit of a tricky position. Happy with some extra cash is going to pick up an M4. Still got 2,000 in the bank. So we have, other than that, we have pistols and Kevlar coming out for the most part. Kenny will be saving for an AWP, having max loss bonus in the following round. So Liquid have been good on the anti-eco so far. We shall see if this will be another one. Got some initial smokes coming out to obscure vision from the CTs, who are being much more aggressive than they were in the previous round when they were on eco. At least Apex is. Now we see a 3-man push coming out the pop dog. We'll see if EnVy can get anything done here. Moving close with these 5-7s. Double peek coming in from Apex and Kenny S. Nice answer from JDM. Kenny dancing back and forth now, but is he going to be able to get any frags? No. So it's Happy with the M4. He has a decision to make now. If he wants to try and save this, I'm not sure what the advantage might be. He's going to go for the taps there, 1 versus 3. Won't work out for him though. Liquid 8-6 last round of the first half.
Yeah, and one thing everyone can agree on when it comes to a team like Liquid is that they have a huge amount of firepower. And interestingly, you know, at the last event, or the first event we saw of this lineup, which was ECS, we had that interview from JDM where he's like, I feel like with this team we can actually win tournaments because of the level of skill on the team. So I can't wait to see that be unlocked. And you know, we are seeing glimpses of it here and there. And now it's the double up setup for EnVyUs to try to cope with some of the plays that Liquid are throwing at them. But they actually have a nice diversity. They're actually picking or kind of varying things at a good level to keep EnVyUs in a place where they never quite know what's going to happen. And as you mentioned, Devil is kind of in that rotation position here, looking for that info, looking to try to play it safe. And this time, it looks like Liquid are just going to hold towards the Pop Dog ladder position and see if they can catch any aggression. But EnVyUs don't want any of that just yet. And they're playing it very passively indeed.
Yeah, they know the tendencies of these players, and they're trying to abuse them for their habits. You can see Devil's playing close up high while Happy's watching his back. This is a novel setup. Haven't seen this one before, personally. Quite like it. I think we have some preemptive counter nades coming in there from the CTs, and now Devil might have a job to do. Nice flash coming in there, and he's going to shut Simple down. That's the high ground gone for the T's, but he will fall to his death. 2 orbs still on the map here for the CTs. Bomb waiting to go down, and there it is. And you can see Elige moving close towards the CT area. I don't think he's been spotted yet either, so that's going to be a problem here for the CTs. NBK could get taken down, but Apex watches his back there. Always check your 6. Nitro, 2 frags once again. 2 versus 2 now. 2 orbs. The rifle of Hiko is going to be important here. Again, the high ground and the Molotov being held by Liquid. JDM holds his position as well, so this could be impossible now for Kenny S.
Gonna try to get it done. The quick nade in there. Use that fast shot. It's going to instead be Hiko with the decisive bullet to the face of Kenny S to end the first half. 9-6 for Liquid, a great comeback. A comeback that was unanswered by EnVyUs, apart from a sole 1 round, which of course they were quickly reset after that, which is a horrendous position to be in, because then with that bad economy that they kind of ended up cycling through, you got a player like Kenny S, he's never really, you're not getting him on AWPs frequently enough from that point forwards. And again, I loved how Liquid were varying their strategies, mixing up their A-yard play, not going for the very standard and very typical types of ways that people would rush the A-yard, but kind of mixing it up a little bit. And you can see that worked more than once for them there. Then they had the slower rounds, the contact plays, had a good mix there.
All right, we're going to go to a short break, and we'll see you back here shortly for the second half. welcome back. So EnVy off to a great start there, but Liquid on the comeback trail, now taking the lead by 3 rounds over EnVy. Very surprising stuff. Hiko and Elige almost neck and neck for the lead there on the frags, 15 and 14 frags respectively. And it was a great clutch, a great ace by Elige, which really got Liquid onto the right foot in this game.
Yeah, there was no looking back after that. Had a great series of choices really for the strategies that they wanted to employ, and EnVyUs could never really find the pace of Liquid in time to deal with it. And that's always going to be a hard thing when it comes to playing Train, because it's hard to get the information as the CT side. It's one of the reasons why, you know, some teams don't actually like this map as much. And now we're going to have the roles reversed. So let's see if we get a nice selection of strategies from EnVyUs, or if they're just going to decide to take more of a power approach and just try to barrel down their opponents with, you know, very aggressive attacks. So I have to see, because they got a guy like KennyS, they can really do everything. But now it's time for the pistol round.
Well, it looks like Hiko and Simple might be in trouble, because Rush B has been announced here. We have the Bannermen charging into the side here. Devil leading the charge for his team. Hiko 2 frags though. He's done good work, giving himself a man advantage for his team. Simple though, is going to extend that even further. 4 versus 2 now, looking for more headshots, but Happy jumping will avoid being headshot and get the frag. Picking up the longer range pistol now. Kenny trying to put down the bomb, but he's got people coming his way. Picking up the 5.7's going to give himself loads of bullets to spam. But there's a play coming in on the side, and JDM's going to take Kenny down for free, moving to the high ground now. So Happy's got a lot of trouble, and Nitro will finish him off. Solid, very important pistol round for Liquid.
Yeah, they definitely needed that one, and that's going to get them off to a nice start economically. And with EnVyUs unable to get the bomb planted, that's also a big deal, because that's an extra round for Liquid to essentially build money, to secure their economy, to make choices as well, because they could, you know, bring rifles in and maybe have a later AWP. It's really up to them. They get the choice. And the only thing they have to worry about is, again, one of the things that EnVyUs are known to be very scary with, and that is their force by type round. I think they have saved some money here on some of the players. It's not a full force, but it is strong enough. We've got 4 Deagles in play, and a Tech-9, 4 Kevlars, 1 helmet. So there is definitely a lot to be afraid of, and Liquid need to be careful that they do not get one shot by those Deagles.
Yeah, and they can't afford to not peek the CTs, obviously, because that's going to allow EnVy to just charge onto the sites, close distance, etc. So they have to take those risks and present themselves to those crosshairs. You see Nitro going for the shoulder peeking here. So it's going to be a precarious one, especially when EnVy choose to charge. Elige holding down the pop dog area for the time being, but Happy may soon be down there. Elige elsewhere now, taking that Kenya. So as they thin these numbers out, it's going to make life a lot easier, although I think that's a FAMAS that can be collected now. Nigel trying to slow it down with the Molotov, and he's got Elige coming in for support. Elige making loads of money in this round. Nitro willing to charge through the flames to finish off things with the MP7, collects the more expensive weapon as well. So a fairly good anti-eco there from Team Liquid.
Yeah, only losing 2 players. That's brilliant, to be honest, because again, they know that they're going to be going into this following round where if EnVyUs do decide to buy anything at all, it should be a lot less scary, because they want to be saving for that 4th round in this second half where they can get a big buy to contest Liquid, who will have also a big buy. So actually, that said, EnVyUs are going to go for a force, which is a little bit out of the ordinary. Let's see if they can do something. I mean, they didn't do a lot of damage to the economy of Liquid in the previous round, but they're going to go for a fast play regardless. So, a bit unorthodox here from EnVyUs, but will it pay off?
Yeah, do they have the strategy to close down a distance? Doesn't seem so, because 3 men have fallen already. Devil may soon be to go as well. Happy will go before him. So the force has failed. And I'm guessing they were gambling based on the potential situation if they can't do enough economical damage to Liquid right now. I mean, Liquid are in a situation where they can keep these FAMASs now because that force buy came out. But obviously the AWPs are to come as well. You see one has started already. JDM, obviously, he's one player who wants to be on the AWP straight away. So I think they were trying to stop Liquid from getting to this point. However, it has happened already. And now Liquid are in a strong position to be in an even worse, to be even closer to match point against EnVy when EnVy's buy finally comes out. So the gamble hasn't paid off, and that may significantly reduce their chances here.
Yeah, I mean, if Liquid had more rounds, you expect EnVyUs to do maybe risky plays like that, but I don't think it was very warranted. I'm sure that's going to be a talking point on the analyst desk later. Either way, EnVyUs are forced to get scrap together a few pistols. At this point, they've got a pretty healthy loss bonus, so they might as well try to get some damage in. You never know, can get around 1 sometimes with the Eagles. it's very hard to trade against a Deagle. If they get the one shot, I mean, what do? Sometimes you just can't do anything against that gun. So will the RNG be with EnVyUs here as they look for those opening frags with the Deagles? We've got Simple there on the ladder. You can hear the stepping of MBK. It's good information. Flash from a teammate. Simple, a bit awkward, but he will close down the frag there. But he is traded. It's up to Hiko now to get the damage in and to hold this point on the yard. If these teams are able to get close to connector, there could be problems here. And there are. KennyS takes down Hiko, and Liquid's ability to rotate is now significantly under threat.
Kenny with 2 Deagle frags so far, looking for more, 2 players to find, and as precarious. I mean, do Liquid want to keep going for this? It's 2 versus 4 with a rifle and an AWP. Does JDM want to give his AWP away to KennyS? I think he's going to make a run for it. Definitely does now with 14 HP, and you can see EnVyUs charging in his direction. Attack is the best form of defense sometimes. JDM is trying to hold that down, but he can't do it, and that AWP is just about going to get rescued by Apex. So worst case scenario has happened. KennyS is going to be on the big green gun.
And Liquid have an interesting decision to make because their loss bonus obviously sucks at this point. They're going to get 1900 if they lose this round. So do they save and have a decent buy in the next round, or do they go what they have now? I mean, with the lead that they have, you would expect them to save here.
They have to save, man.
Yeah,
They can't afford to ruin their economy against Envy. That would be disastrous for them, especially as Envy are more of a team in the sense that, you know, Simple is like an interim 5th for them.
Yeah.
So. And I think they'd be too scared to do it as well.
Yeah,
Things considered, the amount of times they've had 14 rounds down.
I'm glad they don't go with the EnVyUs mode decision of just taking a really risky choice. Now, it's Deagles for them. And on the defense, one would definitely argue that it's going to be a bit easier because you can pick where, especially on a map like this, you can find a lot of good spots. It's much harder on a map like Dust 2, but maybe the spots don't matter. We've got KennyS in play. JDM has a flashbang there. He's got an ability to fire some shots off. There is the frag onto KennyS, but he will be traded. Very exposed. And now there's just 3 players with pistols left now for Liquid to do something with. And there it is. Another Deagle frag. But will it end there? EnVyUs now need to collect the bomb and make a concerted effort together to get themselves onto a bomb site. This could actually get a little bit out of hand at this point.
We've seen time and time again, Hiko with a 5-7 causing humongous problems on an eco round for his opposition, and he is lurking as he does. So Envy in a difficult situation now. NBK getting taken down as well. Simple with the Deagle, almost getting another one onto Happy, but Happy will be quicker on the trigger finger. So 2 versus 2, and perhaps the bomb can go down now, although there are so many angles to defend from. Nitro shoulder picking. I think Devil might have spotted him now, going for the other side. Hiko will be able to get his foot there. That's lots of damage done. So more problems here for Envy. Nitro getting taken down now, and they know where Hiko is. So they can opt for a crossfire situation on the connector area. Hiko trying to identify where these players are, so he can make his decision. He's on over towards E-Box. Maybe he can try and get a close one-on-one with the other guy, and indeed he does, and now he can pick up an AK, but that clock is ticking. He needs to find that frag fast. He needs Happy to take the bait here, but Happy's a non-believer. He's always coming out now, and Hiko's going to clutch it. 10-second defuse. Does he have time for it?
I think he's got just enough time here. It's going to be a very close one, all the way down right to the end of the fuse, and he's got it. Brilliant clutch there from Hiko, but I mean, if Simple's got a Deagle, that guy is one of the best players with a Deagle. It's often about the raw aim, and that is something that Simple has in spades, and that is not the way that EnVyUs wanted things to go. I mean, now they're in a spot where they have to buy, and Liquid are so close to just closing down this map at this point, and we've got the Tech 9s, we've got the armor. It worked out for them previously. It was that B-bomb site that was the problem, to hold against the force buy. So let's see if Liquid can shore up the defense there, or if the attack will come somewhere entirely different. Looks like it's going to be 8.
Yes, we have 3 men going towards Ivy once again. Are they just going to show and then go back? They won't be allowed to. Devil getting taken down immediately by JDM. Safety numbers now. Apex and Kenny trying to charge him, but he gets another 1 versus 1. There's no response here for the T's. Down goes KennyS as well. JDM savaging what remains of EnVyUs. NBK and Happy left now. 2 frags coming out for them as well. But can they get close to these weapons? JDM is creeping, but he can't get the kill. And you see NBK trying to pick up that rifle, can't do so. And that might be the end of the road for Envy. Went for the force, didn't really work out. Only killed 2 players. 4K for JDM.
Yeah, 14-7. It is a pretty intimidating scoreline if you're on the T side at this point. And EnVyUs have to shove all in once again and see if they're able to to suck out in this situation, because Liquid have a really good setup. They can obviously have their pick and choice of exactly what they want to load out with. And let's see if EnVyUs can be the can opener for EnVyUs earlier into the round. Obviously, at this position, he's looking for that early aggression. And this would be a pretty cool round for Liquid to throw in aggression. But they are going to just hold, play a bit passively. And that said, Nitro is creeping pretty far out here onto Ali, playing around the smoke, and he's got a nice situation for the kill, but somehow he can't close it down. It's Apex who survives and will press forwards with 4 HP, but he'll be eliminated. JDM, he has discovered the bomb, and he has claimed a frag at the same time. That's a beautiful result for Liquid. 4 versus 3 for them now, in a big advantage.
That bomb is in the middle of the desert. Devil's coming for it, but he may be left thirsty. JDM holding the angle here. That bomb may only be a mirage. Tries to pot flash himself. Well, he does pot flash himself, literally, into the angle. And now there's a double peek coming in. Elite for support there. Spots a player on Pop Dog. But they will try to retain this bomb for the time being. That smoke has not deterred JDM, but the Flames will. He's taking a lot of damage here. Devil creeping, manages to AWP him as well. But can he retrieve the bomb? Indeed he can.
Yeah, big risk there from JDM. Didn't pay off this time, but it's Elige that can bring the advantage back into the hands of the CTs, but they've lost the bomb. And with 40 seconds, there are options here for EnVyUs as we get the big old rotation, because, of course, Happy has discovered that the B bomb side is clear and free for the taking. And we have all the steps heard by Elige. So now Liquid know what's going on, and Hiko will easily shut down Happy. And now Devil has 20 seconds to try to win this round. There is only one choice at this point, and that is the A bomb site. And there are 2 players that could deal with this. Firstly, it's going to be Elige, and that's all that will be required in this spot. 15-7, 1 round away now are Liquid. A very strong Liquid, I've got to say.
Very nice angle held there by Elige. He had the sound cue. He raised the alarm to his teammate. Happy got taken down towards B. Then he plays the off angle in main. So just great stuff. Great stuff there by Elige. Great decision making. Being a very important player for Liquid this entire map. And now they move to match point. And it's force number X here for Envy. 4 players with pistols with 1 AK onto Apex, who doesn't have a helmet, no less. So this is a horrible situation for Envy. That's all that can be said. Bomb left over towards main while they take initial map control. This time Devil will be on his own towards Ivy, making sure there's no aggressive push, but now he's taking an angle on the other side. He might be in trouble because JDM is waiting. Meanwhile, Apex doing what Apex does. He needs to open up this round. He's the only man with a rifle here, but again, his lack of helmet means he can get one-tapped by any M4 on the map.
It is definitely a desperate spot. And, well, Apex is going to do exactly what he needs to. He's going to cut open that A defense, and he'll push forwards looking for the second follow-up, but he will not get anything. Simple's there, and well, it's going to be tough here. Nice little pop flash play from Nitro, able to eliminate the threatened Devil. Now just 2 Frenchmen left standing, but for how long? And BK will take a peek now into the yard to see what he can find, but there are players all over the place. Not a favorable engagement, but making it close against Simple, but it's all going to rest now onto the shoulders of Happy. And, well, those shoulders are not able to do the job. It will be a very convincing victory there. 16-7 for Team Liquid on Train.
Well, that was quite simply a dominating performance from Liquid. Now, let's bear in mind, Envy started with a solid 5-0 up. After that, they won 2 of the remaining rounds. Liquid won 16 of 18 rounds, basically. That is a very monstrous performance after a poor start. Solid stuff there from Team Liquid, and that really bodes well going forward into this tournament. A team where there's loads of questions, you know, Simple's the stand-in. Once again, what's going on there? JDM's a new player. Lots of things to be discussed by the panel, and we will be back after the break. See you shortly.